Hey guys, if you're watching this video, chances are that you've thought of moving over to Thailand or even living abroad, but you're like, man, I want to make sure I'm financially sound. I want to make sure I don't flop. The last thing you want is to come scurrying back to the home country and be broke, trying to figure out how to make ends meet because you didn't plan right or something went awry and you didn't plan out your move coming over to a foreign country. So making the trip from the US and moving my family over to Bangkok, Thailand was definitely a feat in itself. But I didn't just throw a rock at the pond, just make a leap without doing proper planning. I put in a lot of work, a lot of studying, a lot of contemplation before I actually lined up the move and reached out to some key individuals to set it up in advance. Now, there are a lot of families that are successful when they make a move abroad to another country. And there's also families and individuals that make that leap that don't properly plan. And they run into some really nasty habits when they arrive to a country that might be a little more affordable than where their previous country was and end up ultimately failing. So I'm here today. I want to cover the top 3 reasons why most expats fail when they move abroad to either Thailand or any other country outside of their home country. Number 1, guys, this is crazy, but it hits home, and I think this falls into the number 1 reason on why a lot of expats fail when they come to Thailand, especially Bangkok, in the first 90 days. So I call this thing the first 90-day spend it extravaganza. You got to keep in mind, Thailand is built on tourism. So that's their number 1 business. So when you land in that airport, when you get off, this metropolis, Bangkok, full of so many options, so many variety of experiences, just grabs a hold of you right away. It's really, really hard to shake. Trust me, I had the same issue when I got off the plane. I came downtown. We're near One Bangkok's, one of the new malls, by the way. Definitely suggest go checking it out. I don't mean spend all your money. Definitely check it out. It's a beautiful mall. But when I landed in Bangkok, as soon as we rode into the city, I see this massive city and I just see nothing but opportunity. As a foreigner, you come to a city like this, especially if you're not living in the big city. I was from a big city, but not as big as Bangkok. Bangkok is like an overwhelming type big. It's a huge metropolitan space. So many things to do, so much food, so many malls. So when I came to Bangkok, I think I fell into this category, the 90-day frenzy spending right away. So there's so many malls, there's so many shops, there's so many lights, glitz, glam, so many experiences at every corner. Oh, you name it, they have everything. They have a movie theater, they have ice skating ring, they have multiple layers of food. You got your Michelin star, you got your Michelin bib, Bob, whatever you want to call it. I think it's Michelin bib. There's restaurants and food everywhere. It's like one of the food capitals of the planet. So initially when you get off the plane, you've been watching YouTube. You got to do a YouTube study. You're going to see all kinds of different foods. You're going to see all the amazing Siam, all the theme parks, and it's just going to captivate your brain. So where you're like, yo, I got to experience all of this. There's too many things at my fingertips and the price point is affordable. This is where most expats mess up. When they get here, they see the price tag and they're like, oh my goodness, I can go to a theme park and take my kids for $14 and they can ride everything in this park for $14. Oh my gosh. They get caught up in the price target and they overspend. Most of the time you feel like you can do so much more, which is true for the money, but you can easily spend top dollar, guys. Just imagine having all the food at your fingertips. As soon as you walk out the door, you got a shop here, you got a mall across the street, you got a Don Don Donkey right down the street. There's so many options from all these different countries that you've been researching on that you want a little bit of everything. And we often fall into this vacation mindset when we first land into Thailand, especially when as an expat moving and relocating here, that we got to have everything, we got to cram everything into each day. We live 90 days straight, I'm not lying, of fighting yourself in that vacation mindset. And that, I think that's the number 1 thing that starts people off in the hole that end up ultimately failing after a certain amount of time in Thailand. I purposely had to slow myself down. I had to say, hold on. As you walk, every other store is one of these shops. You're gonna automatically start gravitating towards those price points, those shops, because these are things that were out of your reach to do any day you wanted to in the United States or Canada, or wherever you're from. So this is a mental battle the first 90 days. I call it the vacation frenzy 90-day challenge. You can name it whatever you want, but the first 90 days are super critical as an expat moving over to Thailand in order to establish good habits and to suppress your need to spend. And I'm gonna tell you, it's not easy. I'm pretty good at it and I spent tons of money. I had to catch myself. Probably 30 days in, I was like, hold on. I've been running running this like I got to go back to the United States tomorrow. I need to go ahead and slow down and really take my time, seek out some of the cheaper options. So there are cheaper options away from like the main city that you can get into. But even then, there's so much abundance in this country that it's easy to overspend and just accumulate too many things just because you can, now that the budget stretches a little further. So number 2, living larger than your budget allows. So it's super easy to compare these prices to, like, say New York or the US or Cali or wherever you're from. But just remember that you came here so that you can live, right? You want to be able to financially sustain your lifestyle. You'll think that you can afford this because you're used to, say you're used to $2,200 back in the United States. That's just like an average apartment. But you come here, you meet with your agent, she walks you or he walks you around to these different lavish buildings. You know, he shows you all these price ranges. It's so tempting. And I was guilty of this too. So I'm not just speaking out of left field. I'm guilty too. But it's so tempting to go to this place. He shows you something that's like $500, $600 a month. You're like, oh man, okay. Yeah, that's nice. But he says, hey, I got this place over here that's $700 a month. It has this many more square meters. They use square meters over here, not square foot. And you say, okay, yeah, let's go to the time and go over there and check it out. You go check that out. You see the amenities. You see that. And you fell in love with that place. But he says, yeah, I got one more place, but it's $900. You see where I'm going with this? So it's easy to upsize just based off of the fact that you can, right? And ultimately, you're pushing the budget to as far as you possibly can before you break. And you're putting yourself back in that situation of being in a tight, uncomfortable, paycheck to paycheck type situation where you're stretching to make ends meet just because you can over here in Thailand. So what I would recommend is, first, if you haven't found a place, if you found an agent on Facebook, or you know you've been working with somebody overseas and you come over here and you already have an idea what you want and you know your budget, then do what you got to do. But if you're an expat that doesn't have much cash flow coming in, you have a set rate, or say you have like a pension or something like that, what I would recommend is work with somebody, already arrange something to see, you know, a local agent or something like that. Go on Facebook, go on some of those ads in the marketplace looking for a place to stay, reach out to them and coordinate a meetup. So when you get in the country, you have a few already lined up. Then set realistic price points. So if you're a single person, if you want something that's decent, you can find some, I'm telling you, they're out there. You can find something for like $400. This is in Bangkok now. They got places that are way cheaper than this. You can go to Pattaya, you can go to Jom Tien, Chiang Mai. Some of those are beautiful. Phuket's a little bit more pricey, but you can find some deals out there and they are not bad. You can find a place for like $450 that's gonna be nice, 2-bedroom. You know, you got a nice pool, nice workout area, co-working space, local to the BTS and public transportation. You know, you name it. They have all those options, and then you can scale all the way up, of course. So we all want to live in the 7-star resort style place, right? But do you really need that? That's what I'm learning now. You don't really need it, even though it's super nice, it's luxurious, and you want to say like, man, I just experienced this. Do you really need that? It all depends on your goal. So if you're one that wants to stay in the building, you spend most of your time in the building, you love the finer things in life, and your budget supports, go ahead, by all means. Stay in a place that's nice, has everything you need, pay upwards to like $2,000 plus. But if you don't mind that and you're more about the experience, you want to travel and you don't really mind staying in something that is still nice, but not like the top of the top, then go ahead and find one of those $450 to $400, maybe even $600 max. And then, yeah, just enjoy yourself. Live comfortable, nice. It's still nice, still top notch. And you can travel and enjoy everything else. You can eat more food. If you want to go shopping, now you got a little extra budget. Don't spend it all on your loving quarters and try to max out your budget up front. There are plenty of options. There's definitely a range of budget-friendly places that you can stay. So don't rush into the first thing because you want to live luxurious. If you want to, and that's what your goal is, by all means, do what you got to do. But I'm saying, don't set yourself up for failure by overextending your budget. All right, this one is like self-explanatory, but it's just so crazy how many people do this. This one blows my mind, but this probably sends most expats back home packing, weeping, tail between their legs. They just threw up their hands. They had to give up. So without further ado, not having a financial plan or a stable cash flow of source of income from the States or wherever you are, that is crazy. I'm so surprised. Like I've met people that came over here, lived it up, got caught up in partying, eating, drinking, having so much fun on nightlife. You know, there's so much to do over here. You can easily get lost if you don't have the self-discipline, all on like savings. So they had like a bucket of savings. They came over here, they thought they're gonna figure it out while they're over here without a solid financial plan to continuously put money in their pocket so that they can survive in a country like Thailand. Thailand can definitely be affordable, but it also can be very harsh if you don't take care of what you gotta do to survive. So I recommend having a business abroad or some form of income, whether it be pension, whether it be military retirement, just whatever. Have a form of cash flow available that's gonna consistently pay, fill your pockets, budget based off of that consistency and the average of cash flow you bring in, and reverse plan. Start with accommodations, see how much you can budget, see how much you want to put aside for food, do market research on local cuisines and whatever fits your lifestyle and your diet. Already do a reverse plan. Have that stuff written down. So when you come here, you got a rough estimate of what you can actually handle. Because when you get here, everything bomb rushes your head all at once, all in your face. The prices are so great. You're just going to get overwhelmed and you're going to start overspending immediately. I'm telling you, because you're going to be so drawn into all these crazy experiences that are at your fingertip at every corner you look that before you know it, those dollars or that baht is just disappearing, evaporating. Next thing you know, you open your wallet like that meme, you look over there, you see a little tiny like 1 baht coin sitting at the bottom of it. I'm telling you. So budget, budget, budget. I can't stress that enough. If you do come over here and you don't have cash flow over there, make sure you have some type of income or some type of job lined up here and have your visa to support, like a work permit or whatever, before you land here. Because if you don't and you think you're just going to come into the country, live in some hostels, figure it out right along the way and just survive, you're in for a rude awakening. This country right here, is prices are going up too. There's a lot of things changing all around the planet. So don't think that you're going to come over here and just live like a king continuously. You can just party and stuff without having proper cash flow coming in. You're going to be in for a rude awakening and you're going to have a hard time. You're going to be a statistic, like one of those expats that had to run back home with their tails tucked between their legs. That's just my opinion. I'm just sharing it with you. One thing I will say about Thailand is that there's plenty of opportunities to start a business or partner with a local Thai person. You know, just start some type of side hustle on the digital side. They have drop shipping. If you have Airbnb or units in the States, you know, you can rent those out and live abroad. If you have retirement, you can use that pension and you can live a pretty comfortable life with a lot less than what you can in the States. But remember, you have to have some type of cash flow before you come to Thailand. I would recommend that strongly. Yes, there are a few occasions when people come over here, they're backpack, they stay in these hostels and they work finesse something, they start a business here and they survive. But I'm telling you, that is a risk that I would not be willing to take, and it is a low fruit-bearing approach to transitioning from wherever country you are to Thailand or abroad in general, at any country you decide to go. So definitely take this advice. I don't want to see anybody, I don't want to hear of anybody failing to transition over to whatever country they're trying to live, you know, or anybody running back home just because they didn't plan it out right and they thought that you can just walk to another country and survive and thrive without doing the necessary due diligence in order to be successful in another country. So guys, if you have any questions, anything about Thailand, if I don't have the answer, I'll definitely put in the work, do the research, and try to get you an answer to help you learn more about Thailand. If you do look to transition to Thailand or any neighboring country, I wish you Godspeed. Good luck. Definitely do the due diligence. I would recommend visiting the place first, just so you can get a feel for like the culture, for the price target, shop around and check out some of the places. But now we live in a digital age. We can see most of the apartments and stuff online, and you can work with an agent long distance. But if you're more old school and you want to touch it and see, I would recommend just take like maybe a 2 or 3 week trip, come out here, explore, live like a local, live like wherever you want, get an Airbnb or some type of stay around the area you want to stay, just so you can feel how the environment is. And also just test out the price points and stuff. When you come, you stay in a building that you're eyeballing and they happen to have like a unit in the neighborhood nearby, an Airbnb, just stay in that, go visit it, talk to the agents, and just gather as much data as you can before you make that move. And I want to see everybody thrive and succeed. Thailand is an amazing place. You won't regret moving over to a country like this. Is very, very beautiful. The people are very, very nice. If you do end up moving and transitioning over here, the main thing that I want to tell you, other than the budgeting and money, is come over here with extreme humility, because humility goes very, very far in Thailand, especially for a foreigner coming from another country with a totally different culture. Don't expect for the Thai people to assimilate to your culture. It's the other way around. You're in their country, so make sure that you show respect and learn some of the Thai culture. Try to understand and respect their way of life. That way, everything is preserved, everything is respectful, and you would have a much, much more welcoming experience in Thailand for yourself. Thank you for watching my video. I hope it was helpful. Don't make those mistakes, I'm telling you. So make sure your budget is good. Make sure you don't overspend when you come, the 90-day vacation frenzy that everybody has. And just do your due diligence and make sure you have everything lined up, all your ducks are in a row before you take that leap of faith. But more importantly, if you want to do something, do what it takes to make it happen. Don't shy away. Time is of the essence. We only have one life that we know of to live. You might as well live it to the fullest and take full advantage of educated risk. Approach it, try it out. If it doesn't happen and it doesn't work out for you, you can always pivot. All right, guys, again, thank you for watching my video. I hope this video was super helpful for you. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and hopefully I can bring value to you and help you make an educated move when relocating to Thailand.